county gives some money for smart boards to each school. And then the administrator decides, probably with the technology coordinator or the media specialist, who to divvy out the smart boards to each year. So if you don't have a smart board and you're taking this training, that's fine. I know it's said in the in our list of summer trainings, it said that you either need to have a smart board or you're going to get one. But if you're here and you're like, oh, I just want to learn this information, that's totally fine too. But you need to plant that seed with your administrator and say, I really want a smart board. I took this smart board for art teachers training this summer. You know, I'll do anything else that needs to be done. And that way you can get yourself in line for a smart board. Now, if you have a smart board, you're fortunate. You're going to be able to learn some things today that you're going to be able to put in use. So without further ado, Linda Crawley, who's the art teacher here at McMullen-Booth, she is a wonderful teacher. I've known her for many years, and we're fortunate to have her teach us, so enjoy.
All right, so smartboard expert, you know, I'm going to be learning a lot along beside you today. I did the training, I think, 2 other times, and then smartboard updated and upgraded and changed everything. So the other smartboard presentation that I used for the other trainings, like half of the bells and whistles, the cool stuff that I'm like, oh, I love this, they've taken it out of the program and it's gone, and it was like, oh my gosh. So I had to kind of relearn everything, because I kind of got to the point where I had a lot of smartboard presentations and I wasn't writing too many new ones because I was busy with other things, like Marzano. So now I have a lot of smartboard presentations that have parts of it are working, but parts of it don't work. So I went in, I kind of relearned this one. So I'm not an expert by any means, and I kind of took it in baby steps. I don't use smartboard presentations with every single class for every single day. It might be an introduction that I use to introduce a lesson or a concept. It might be, one year I noticed that my first graders were so mixed up on portrait, still life, and landscape. They just, you know, landscape. It's a portrait! You know, it was like, oh my God. So I did like a little mini smartboard game thing where they would try to figure out what was a landscape, a portrait, and a still life, and it really helped. So it can be used to introduce lessons, for reinforcements. The kids love to get up and touch the board. They all want to have a turn, which sometimes can be problematic because that takes up a lot of time. So anyway, that said, here we go. This training is specific for art teachers to learn and explore the smartboard presentations in order to use them in their classrooms. I'm sort of gearing it towards the lowest level people who have not a clue like what it can do or what's available in there to work through. So I'm trying to lay out, you know, the basic tools, the options that you have, just to create an awareness of what this can do for you.
I've observed them, I've been in trainings with them, I've been in classrooms visiting with teachers who used them, but I've never had one until earlier this year.
I had a smart board installed in my classroom in October or November of this year. I had never used one prior to that. I did attend a training, a general training, but I'm just getting my feet wet right now.
First thing you ought to do is you need to calibrate your board. So that means that when you touch it here, the board actually knows that that's the spot that you're touching, because sometimes you touch here and it makes the mark over there. So you want to calibrate, and I think this was the way that Jonathan told me years ago, rather than your finger, to go in, and then when you let go, it gets it to that exact spot. A lot of teachers will just tap the dot.
What do you call the instrument that you're using right now?
This is a pen.
Just smartboard pen?
It's a pen. I have one of the older smartboards, so I have 4 little trays here with 4 marker colors. There's no yellow.
So it doesn't matter what color you use. Yeah,
well, if I pick up the pen that's in the black tray, it will draw black. If the kids get these mixed up and the red pen is in the black tray, it's still going to draw black, because it came out of the black tray. Okay, now they have one pen that kind of sits in the middle, and then you press a button to pick what color you want it to be. And I'm not sure how the eraser works on the new one. I just remember seeing one somewhere and going, oh, look at that, you know, because I have 4 pens that could easily get lost. Now there's 1 pen that could easily get lost. So I don't know. So yeah, there's pens here. And for mine to calibrate, I can't say on the new boards what it looks like, but I just hold these 2 buttons down simultaneously till that calibration dotting thing comes up. Okay. So now I should be able to touch that. How often do you have to calibrate? Probably should do it every day, every morning.
Okay. And then
And now it's not
you
opening.
pick on the X's and you picked on the X's?
You want me to, I'll do it again. First down on the 2 buttons. All right.
What were you doing when you picked on the X's?
There's just 1 little X dot. So that's gonna, you're gonna like touch that spot, and then the board recognizes that that's like where your finger touched. So you do all those 9 spots. You can use a pen. Some teachers just do this and they smack it with their finger, but then you're not maybe smacking it right in the middle. And for us, I don't know, I find when I'm drawing on the smart board that I want my mark to be right where I'm putting the mark, not like quarter of an inch over to the left.
Confusing.
So I just hold down and let go, hold down and let go, and it zips around the board.
Why are you starting outside?
So that it lifts, if I, you know, like your hand is shaky or whatever, you know, you're getting it in the exact spot you want it to be. You can just smack it with your finger if you want to. This is
Is it the same if you have a smartboard whiteboard? Because I've got a whiteboard that's part smartboard or whatever.
Jonathan,
What's up?
you have to calibrate a whiteboard, smartboard? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't.
Same thing.
And the thing is, you're talking about like the Epson interactives, like where you don't have those buttons?
Yeah, I don't have all the little buttons at the bottom.
Yeah, so there is like a tools, if you go into your applications, there's like a, could you click on your launch pad there? Or, yeah, thanks. And then if you see that there's,
Smart settings.
is it smart settings? Yeah, so if you go here, and then, and this helps too if like you have something that's not communicating with the smartboard very well. You can go in here to, so see where it says orient align the smartboard product? So you can go in here. Now what's nice about this too is, oh, we want to get all that. What's nice about in here is you can actually, I believe you can, let's see, settings. There's something in here where you can set those dots closer together. So you
Yeah,
can
make
have
more
even
of
more
them.
precision.
Yeah.
But the other thing is Connection Wizard. This is good if you're getting the blinking light, like it's blinking green. That means it's not communicating well, or you're just you're trying to touch this and you've done your orientation and it's still not working. So that Connection Wizard is really helpful. It'll like go through and just make sure things are working right. And the other thing is, of course, is turning on and off your computer, like disconnect everything, turn on or turn off your computer, turn it back on, and that helps. Because the biggest problem I've seen with smart boards, interactive boards, is it doesn't communicate anymore. Like you come back.
Yeah,
the
that's
next day.
happened to me. So you go into Connection Wizard.
Yeah, Connection Wizard. That will
Can
help.
I look at it?
Sure.
Because I'm learning too.
Yep. So see how it scans through here, and it'll tell you if everything's working or something's not quite right.
My smart product is not listed.
Huh?
It's just
It's not.
It's a
pretend.
newer feature.
Yeah.
It's virtual.
So it just kind of goes through and make sure that you're connected correctly and everything. And she is connected USB. Now it's going through some troubleshooting and things like that. So, all right.
Cool.
Jonathan, what are the black boards with the legs that roll around? Are those smart boards? Are
Those are like portable smart boards.
those are smart boards?
Yeah, yeah.
They're not white. They're
No?
black screen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
we
weird.
have.
You guys have those too? Are those
Yeah.
smart TVs?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
And what's the advantage of those?
You can move them around.
They don't have to stay. Yeah.
It's nice. Well,
That
I
could
like
be cool, maybe.
Now, does that have a projector that goes onto it, or it's like
Is
a
it like a
TV?
TV?
just pick it up the same way.
Okay,
That'd be cool.
that's nice. Then you don't have to orient it, right? Just touch it.
Okay, so this is my SMART training. That's what it looks like. Sometimes it has the picture of your first page up there. I don't know if that's something they've done away with the new version or not. But this is, I don't know what it's called, but I call it Intro to Smart Boards in the Art Room. So I'm going to leave this whole screen up so that you can see the menu panels. There is a way, like if you were doing this presentation to your students, you would click on the little picture of the smart board there and pick full screen, and then you don't see all the menu planning parts along the edges. I'm going to leave them there for this training because we'll be using them. So then to go back, oh, that looks different too. Nope. There we go. Okay. So when you want to move to the next slide, if you're on the big full screen, if you're on the full screen, you would hit this arrow to go to your next slide, okay? So since we're seeing, I'm just gonna click on my slide panel. So this is my pages, that's right here, and we're gonna go to the next slide. So this, I'm gonna start right over in here with what these things are, yes.
So this is, you did this on your computer, right?
I did this, I planned this all out on my computer.
And
It's
then
sort
you
of
just
like a
project it.
PowerPoint. You're
Yeah.
making a PowerPoint that you can actually touch to do things, and you can, you know, just like a PowerPoint, you can add links.
It's an interactive PowerPoint, basically.
It's an interactive, it's a, you described it one time as a PowerPoint on steroids. So,
What's
yes.
it called?
It's called a notebook
Notebook.
presentation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Notebook is the program.
yeah.
But it's smart.
It's
So if we
smart.
wanted to open up and do this with you, would you be a notebook?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna, you're gonna be able to access this presentation
Right.
to go back to and refer to. I wouldn't try to do everything that I'm showing you right now. And a lot of this, a lot of it is just intuitive now, like, you know, you're gonna know what that means. That's gonna add text, and you're gonna be able to figure out a lot of stuff, so. All right, so.
So with PowerPoint though, will be a little different as far as like how you're using it, right?
This is not a PowerPoint, it's like a PowerPoint presentation. This is a notebook presentation that's more interactive than a PowerPoint. So I'm gonna like just compare it to a PowerPoint. I didn't actually write this in PowerPoint. This was a notebook presentation. Okay.
Can you bring PowerPoint slides into?
I believe, yes, you can. You can link things in, and I have that later on in the presentation. Okay, so the pages icon shows you all your pages in the sidebar. You can move the pages around. If I touch this one, I can move it up here. I can touch it, and I can move it back down there. So you can just switch the order of your slides right there. You can search the Smart Exchange. Oh, I went to the next one. All right, we were on that one. So you can move pages around like I just showed you. You can delete pages. If you press on this little arrow in the corner, there'll always be an arrow in the corner when you're on a certain page. You can delete the page. You can clone the page. By cloning the page, it just makes an exact duplicate. So if you wanted, for some reason, and it does happen, where you want the same image like over and over again, and you're going to pose a different question next to it, like you have a picture of the color wheel, and you're going to ask which, you know, have the kids click on which two colors make orange, and then in the next slide, which two colors make green. So you would want to just clone that color wheel 3 times rather than trying to assemble the whole thing every single time. Okay. You can delete a page if you don't want it. So there's these little things there. You can cut a page, copy, paste. Okay. The gallery icon, that's the second one down. You can search for images here. So if you go to the gallery, you can do, what is it, Gallery Essentials. Click on the arts, and you can pick art, design, or music, and then it'll give you some choices. Now, there's not a whole lot of choices with art, but if you go in there, they do have 25 art exemplars. I tend to go out and get my own things off the internet because there's just millions of things to choose from. But they do have that design, let's see. I don't even know what that that is. Pictures 47, and then bathtub, like, I guess if you were teaching how to do an architectural interior design or something like that. Yeah, that looks like a lot of interior design to me. Okay. So also you can search Smart Exchange through here. So if you go down a little ways, if you click on Smart Exchange, it will take you, you can go right to the Smart Notebook. Smart Exchange is a place where you can find Smart Notebook presentations that other people have made and shared on this site. So like if you want to do a Grant Wood lesson, you might start here and just see if somebody else has already done one, and then you don't have to do the work because you can just download it from here.
I will think about using this and the web page she showed us where the people have already made them, the Smartboard Exchange, where you can go click on and view what other people have already done. Then all you have to do is just download it and use it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You can just use kind of what they have, which makes it a lot easier to get through. But I'll try building some of my own also.
There'll be all different ones that other people have posted for, that one looks cool. I like that with the slats. So for me, I would look like, you know, so visual, like it's like, oh, that one looks cool, right? So you can click on it to preview it, you can look at it. So a lot of times you don't even have to write your own things. You can just go see what other people have done already and save yourself a whole lot of time, you know? All right, so quit Firefox and go back. So on this page, there's all kinds of different little bells and whistles in there, and a lot of this, it's just go in and explore when you have time. Fill effects is this one here with the A. We'll come back to with the A. This is how you would plan like the color on your page. You can choose, oh, sorry, wrong one. You can pick a pattern fill, and I can change my page to something different. I know that's like, you know. But anyway, you can pick solid fill. You can change your color. I had gradient fill. I like that one. I think it looks nice. So I don't remember what I had, but you can also change it forward. You know, you can change the way the gradation turns around. I just think the pages are nicer if they're pizzazz going on. Okay, so that's fill effects, and what I do is when I pick my background, I just clone a whole bunch of pages for myself. I don't like that way, then I have the same color plan on every single page. So I do that first, I pick my colors, and you can always go in and change it. Image fill will let you pick an image. Where is it? Sorry. Image fill will let you browse and pick an image. So, here's my image. That's my son, 2 years ago. So you can put an image in the background, like if you were teaching a lesson on Grant Wood, you could have American Gothic back there, and then you could use your pen to draw on it and point out the Gothic window, or the kids could come up and trace the Gothic window. So this is a good point now where I can show you how you can draw on the smartboard, because this is a really great way to say, okay, you know, what shape is your head, and how far down are your, you know, if you were doing a portrait lesson, you could kind of map out the proportions of the features. You can use shape, you can draw with shapes right on here. Up in here, there's shapes. So I can pick a heart, and I can put a little heart there. You can erase things. Whoops, what's going on? All right, obviously it doesn't erase the shapes, but there is a back button, so you can get rid of that. Whoops, go back, sorry. The text is going to allow you to type on there. There's arrows. And I'm going to get more into these in a little later portion here. I think it's very exciting. It's very visual, so definitely for art teachers, this is a wonderful tool. You have access to the web where you can pull things into your lesson plan or your presentation, and just with the touch of a finger, it pulls up that video clip or web page that you want to share with the students rather than sitting there typing in, trying to pull it up quickly. I mean, we have a limited amount of time with our students. We see them once a week for 45 minutes, so this is a great tool to, like, you know, bring things up fast, keep it moving, and have a high level of engagement with the students.
Could you share this notebook presentation with us? I have a feeling it would give us something then we could then poke around in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But we would have to have the smart software on our laptop before we could start.
Right, and Jonathan, I think you posted it somewhere.
So in our art technology resource site, which there's a link on our art website, you know, the links that we showed you at district-wide training, that list of links. Hopefully you've gone there, but we've added some more great links. But we have one there, it's called Art Technology Resources. Used to be like called Art Tip or something like that, but we have a section for interactive whiteboards. So once you go to that link in eLearn Center and you scroll down, you'll see interactive whiteboards. And then you'll see Linda's presentation. Her presentation I posted last night, so it's there now. And you can just download that, and once you have the smartboard software on your computer, you'll be able to open it up and then you can poke around in there.
I know, I agree with you totally, because it's a lot of information and a lot of little things to remember, and the best way to learn it is not by me showing you step by step, just kind of, you know what's available, and then just start poking around. I mean, that's how I learned it, just start getting in there, playing with it, and seeing what things do.
Will that same software download onto the iPad?
I don't know of a smartboard or a notebook software yet for the iPad. Maybe I think they're developing it. I don't know if they have anything yet. So really it's just for your computer. And since we're talking about that, you've got to have the right version of Smart Notebook on your computer for your operating system. Because if you try to, let's say you go to the Smart website and you download the latest version, which is 17, okay, it just was released recently. If you download that to your computer and you're running an older operating system, it's not going to work. It's going to be like, your operating system's too old. So don't worry about that, because we can either, you can upgrade your operating system to, I think it's Sierra 10.12, and if you have a aluminum Mac, you're going to be able to upgrade to that. The other option is you can download a slightly older version of the Smart Notebook software. So basically there's two versions you can choose from. If you have operating system 10.10, 10.11, 10.12, then you can do 17, Smartboard 17 version, which is the newest version. If you have an operating system of 10.9 or 10.8, then you're going to want to do Smartboard version 11.4. All right, that will run perfectly on your computer. So there's two versions you get to choose from based on what your computer is running for the operating system. And how do you find that out?
Go to eLearn.
Go to the Apple icon, top left-hand corner, about this Mac, and then it'll tell you your version. It'll say 10.8. Yep. What did you say? 10.8. Okay, so Molly's is 10.8.5, which would qualify her for the older version of 11.4 Smartboard.
Would this one run on 11.4?
It should. It should.
If we start sharing versions.
I believe it should. I don't see why not. There might be some features in the newer version that might not work on it, but it should open it up.
What's the newest version?
Newest version is 17. So if you have, well, your operating system you're looking at your app, so that's what,
11.6.
So she's at 10.11, and she could run version 17. All right, so if you're 10.10, 10.11, 10.12 for your Mac operating system, you can run 17. Anything 10.9, 10.8, 10.7, you're going to have to run the older version, 11.4. Okay? And if you're needing 11.4, email me, and I'll email you how to download that older Smartboard version with the license code. If you have a newer operating system like Eleni and Linda, then you just go to the Smartboard website. Actually, we have a link in our art technology resources. Just go to that link. It'll take you to the Smartboard website, and you download version 17. It'll ask you to put your name, your email, and some other stuff in there. And then that same link actually has our license code, the county license code. So, because if you just go to the Smartboard website without going through that link, then you're going to download the trial version. And after 45 days, it stops working. So when you go back to school and you fire it up, you're like, wait a minute. So you have to put that product code in there at some point, which is part of that is in that link in our technology resources.
It would be great for me to use my smartboard more often, and I don't think I do that now. I use it mostly as a screen for a projector. There are a few things I do smartboardish wise in my room, but it'd be great to be able to do more with it.
There are a lot of tools that I was unaware of, and so there's a lot that I need to learn with it.
I think it's really great that we have art teachers teaching art teachers. I've always felt like those are the very best trainings that I go to, is to have my peers teaching, because we're all faced with the same challenges, and I think we all kind of speak each other's language.